Hello everyone and welcome back to SSB Crack Exams. I am Chetan and today's session will be starting a new topic, ocean currents. So in a series of lessons, I'll be covering this topic of ocean currents and you'll be learning about the subtopics which includes the terminologies which are related with ocean and ocean currents and the relief features of oceans, the various factors that affect the movement of water inside the ocean, and also you will be learning about the major and minor ocean currents, their location, and I will also tell you about the direction of those currents. So let's start. Before we start, let me also introduce you to SSB Crack Exams. So this is a one-stop solution for all the major defense-related examinations like FCAT, NDA, CDS, CAPF, etc. For more details regarding the courses that we offer for you guys, which are meticulously designed for you to crack these examinations, you can visit our website learn.ssbcrackexams.com. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel SSB Crack Exams and do not forget to download our Android app from Google Play Store SSB Crack Exams, from where you can access all the lessons and download those lessons along with your study material as well. So let's start. Now, let me first tell you about what we are going to cover in this session. So we'll start off with a basic introduction about water which is present on Earth. Then we'll learn about the 5 major oceans on Earth. Then the relief of ocean floors, which is basically the topography of ocean floors. We'll learn about that also. Then we'll learn about the division of ocean floors, which is broadly categorized into two parts, that is major relief features and minor relief features. So we'll discuss all these in detail. Let's start. First of all, water on Earth. We all know that the water on Earth is in abundant form and that too in liquid form as well. And also our planet is called as blue planet, the same reason being because it appears to be blue as seen from the outer space. Water on Earth exists into two forms as far as its chemical composition is concerned. So it either can be salt water or fresh water. Now salt water is nothing but fresh water but with a lot of minerals in it. Now let me also tell you about the reservoirs with the help of tables, the reservoirs, the natural reservoirs on our planet which holds these water. So the biggest natural reservoir that we have on our planet is oceans, which hold the total 97.25% of the entire water which is present on Earth. And of course, it is in the form of salt water because it is full of minerals. These minerals are of course derived from depositions from millions of years. The reason behind those depositions is of course erosion. The next natural reservoir which holds the maximum amount of water is ice caps and glaciers. Now, ice caps and glaciers hold 2.05% of the entire water which is present on our planet, and that too in frozen form. So water is in the form of ice and it is in the frozen form, solid state. And also this is to be noted that ice caps and glacier holds the largest freshwater source of water. They are the largest freshwater source of the water. They of course they can release their water when the ice caps or the glaciers melt. They release their water. It can be directly into the oceans in the case of Arctic circles, or it can also be in the form of rivers. They can also be the source of freshwater rivers as well. Now, the next in our list is the groundwater. So groundwater, which are also known as the natural aquifers, they hold 0.68% of the entire water which is present on our planet. These are also freshwater source. Now, the next in our list is all the other reservoirs, which includes lakes, rivers, lagoons, and etc., and all the other natural water bodies. Now, they hold rest of the 0.01%, less than 0.01% of the entire water which is present on our planet. Now, let's move ahead and we shall discuss about the 5 major oceans that is present on our Earth. So, we have 5 oceans, which is Atlantic, Indian, Pacific, Arctic, and Antarctic Ocean, or the Southern Ocean. We'll discuss about each of these oceans one by one. So we shall start off with the Atlantic Ocean. As you can see in the image over here, we have Atlantic Ocean in both the northern and the southern hemisphere of Earth. On the northwestern side, you will find it is the Atlantic Ocean is bounded by the North American continent. On the southwestern side, you will find it is bounded by the South American continent. On the northeastern part, you will find it is bounded by the European continent, and in the northeastern some part, the central and the eastern part, you will find that the Atlantic Ocean is bounded by African continent. On the northern side of the Atlantic Ocean, you'll have it merges with, of course, the Arctic Ocean or the Northern Ocean. On the southern part of Atlantic Ocean, it merges with the Southern Ocean or the Antarctic Ocean. So this was the location of Atlantic Ocean. This is the second biggest ocean on our planet. The next on our list is Indian Ocean. Now, Indian Ocean is situated directly below the Indian Peninsula. That is why it gets its name from that only. That is why it is called as Indian Ocean. On the northwestern side, you will find the Arabian Peninsula. On the western coast, you will find it is surrounded by the African continent. Then, on the southern side, of course, it merges with the Southern Ocean, which is Antarctica Ocean. Then, on the eastern side or the northeastern side, you'll find the Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, etc. On the southwestern side, you will find it is bounded by Australian continent. Now, this is the third biggest ocean on our planet. The next in our list is the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean, by volume and by area, of course, is the biggest ocean of our planet. The Pacific Ocean, on the northeastern side, it is bounded by the North American continent, and on the southeastern side, it is bounded by the South American continent. On the northern side, of course, it merges with the Arctic Ocean, and on the southern side, it merges with the Antarctic Ocean or the Southern Ocean. On the northwestern side, you will find the Southeast Asian countries like Philippines and all. And then on the southwestern side, you will find the countries like New Zealand and the continent of Australia. The next ocean that we're going to discuss is the Arctic Ocean. Now, the Arctic Ocean is surrounded entirely around the North Pole of Earth. It mostly holds the water in the form of ice, as the temperature over there remains below zero all the time. Similarly, we have Antarctica Ocean as well, which is also known as the Southern Ocean. Now, it is present around the southern pole or the south pole of our Earth, and again here also major amount of water which is present in the form of ice, and of course it surrounds the South Pole. Now, let's move ahead and we shall discuss about relief of the ocean floors. Now, what are reliefs? You will hear this term relief of the ocean floors whenever we discuss about any landforms about oceans, right, or the ocean floors. So relief is nothing but like we have the topographical features of land, like we have, for example, in India, we have plateaus, we have ridges, we have volcanoes, we have almost all the geographical features. Similarly, whatever the geographical features that we have, which is present inside the oceans or the inside the oceanic waters on the ocean floors, those are known as the relief features of the oceans, right? Now, we shall discuss about these relief features, and of course, we'll first start off with the division of the ocean floors. Now, broadly, the division of ocean floors has been done in two broad categories. First is the major relief features and the minor relief features. The major relief features include features like continental shelf, continental slope, deep sea plains, oceanic deeps, or trenches. Now, we shall discuss about all of these features in detail later on in this session. The next in our list is the minor relief features. The minor relief features are such as mid-oceanic ridges, seamounts, submarine canyons, guyots, and atoll. Now let us start discussing about each of these features. First of all, we will start off with the major relief features like continental shelf. Now, with this single feature, I'll be explaining you all these features. Now, this particular image that you can see over here, this is not on the basis of any scale, and this is just an imaginary picture. In this single picture only, I have mentioned all the important relief features so that it becomes easier for you guys to understand. And this is just an imaginary figure between two imaginary continents. There is an ocean. This is a cross-sectional view, and below this ocean and the water level of this ocean or the sea water level, you can see all the features, geographical features we'll understand, and we'll know about all these features in detail. So first of all, we'll start off the continental shelf. Now, what are continental shelf? So these are extended margin of each continent occupied by relatively shallow seas and gulfs. Now, what does this mean? See, what happens is that the point where the land or the land of the continent meets the ocean, right, which is of course the beaches, right? So it does not abruptly end over there only. It extends up to a certain distance. Now these distance can be more also, right? For example, so what do I mean by this is that the land that we have on the continents, it extends inside the ocean and they form a shallow region in the ocean, right? And that part is known as the oceanic shelf, and it extends up to shelf break. This is the point where it starts to decrease with a higher rate. The slope of the, or you can say the gradient of these slope, it starts to decrease at a higher rate. Up till this point, the gradient is around 2 degrees only, and as soon as you move ahead after the shelf break, then comes the continental slope, which we'll discuss later in the session. And of course, the slope or the gradient of the landform in the continental shelf is very low, right? Now, also, this is very important for you guys to know that this extension could be up to 80 kilometers on an average, and mostly it is on the western coast of all the continents. The next in our list is the depth of these. So they can be as deep as 30 to 600 meters. The next in our list is continental slope. Now, these continental slopes starts as soon as the continental shelf ends at the shelf break, right? And this is the region where basically the land mass of any continent ends, and it get finally merges into the oceanic floor. So the region between the continental slope and the oceanic floor, this region where the slope of the land decreases gradually and the gradient is more than even 5 degrees, that particular region is known as continental slope. And this region is known as the region which connects the continental shelf and the ocean basins. It begins where the bottom of the continental shelf and sharply drops off into steep slope. The gradient of these could be 2 to 5 degrees or even more than 5 degrees. The next is the depth of these, and they can be as deep as 3 kilometers starting from 200 meters. Moving on to our next relief feature, it is deep sea plains, which is also known as abyssal plains. Now, deep sea plains are gently sloping areas of ocean basins. So basically, these are just the plains which are present inside oceans. So we have plains, for example, the Great Plain of India, of the Ganga and Yamuna basin of Indian subcontinent. We have that Great Plain, the Northern Plain. Similarly, we have plains inside ocean floors as well. Those plains are known as deep sea plains or abyssal plains, right? These are the flattest and the smoothest region of the world, and they can be present up to a depth of 3 to 6 kilometers. The next in our list is the oceanic deeps, or which are also famously known as trenches. Now, these areas are the deepest parts of the ocean, as you can see in the figure. One of the most famous ones is the Mariana Trench, which is present inside the Pacific Ocean. Now, these trenches are relatively steep sided, they are very steep in nature, and they are basically have a very narrow basin. Apart from that, if we talk about the occurrence of these trenches, where they do occur, so they occur at the bases of continental slopes and along island arcs, and are associated with active volcanoes and strong earthquakes. So this is, you can say that the main region of formation of these trenches or the oceanic deeps are volcanoes and strong earthquakes. The depth of these trenches could be as deep as 3 to 6 kilometers on an average, remember, but they can be at some places the depth is even around 9 to 10 kilometers, right? So that is what, and in total on our planet we have 57 deep oceanic trenches which have been found as of now, and out of those 57, the 32 Pacific deeps are there. That means those trenches which are present only in the Pacific Ocean. 19 trenches have been found in Atlantic deeps, and the 6 trenches have been found in the Indian deeps. The next in our list, the major ocean feature, is the mid-oceanic ridges. Now, this comes inside the minor relief features. A mid-oceanic ridge is composed of two chains of mountains which are separated by a large depression, as you can clearly see in the figure. Now, how do they form? These mountain ranges can have peaks that can be as high as 2,500 meters, and some even reach above the ocean's surface. Now, one of the most famous oceanic ridges are the mid-Atlantic ridges that you can see, and which are found and located inside the Atlantic Ocean. Now, these mid-Atlantic ridges, these travel exactly as the midline of the Atlantic Ocean. That is why they are known as mid-Atlantic ridges. There's one more famous question which can be asked from this, is that which of these countries, which of the following countries will be given 4 option, and which of the following countries is situated on the mid-Atlantic ridge, right? So the answer should be Iceland. The country Iceland, which is located on this mid-Atlantic ridge, is the best example of the country which is situated on mid-Atlantic ridge. In fact, the only country which is situated on this mid-Atlantic ridge. Moving on to our next relief feature. Next one is seamount. Now it is a mountain with pointed summits which rise from the seafloor that does not reach the surface of the ocean. As you can see in the figure, these are mountains or sea mountains which does not rise above the sea level. So it basically means they are just mountains or hills which are totally submerged inside the oceanic water and they do not come outside it, right? So these are the basic features of these sea mountains. Now, moving on to discuss more about these are formed majorly, of course, the very obvious reason of formation of these mountains will be the volcanic activities, right? So they have their volcanic origin, and they can be as high as 3 to 4.5 kilometers. Now, moving on to see the example, what are the examples of sea mounts? So the Emperor Sea Mount, which is located besides the Hawaiian mountain range or near the Hawaiian island in Pacific Ocean, is the best example of sea mounts. The next minor relief feature in our list is the submarine canyons. Now, these are deep valleys, some comparable to the Grand Canyon of the Colorado River. We all have seen the Grand Canyons and how the formation of canyons is formed. So, canyons are basically steep uh, hills or mountains which are formed by the phenomena of weathering and erosion by very narrow stream of water or flow of water, right? Similar features can be found inside sea as well, as you can see in this figure. One of the best example of these features are found in these are sometimes found cutting across the continental shelves. What they do, these streams inside the ocean, when the river deposits its water inside the ocean, they cut across the continental shelves, which is the first feature of oceanic flow, and often extend from the mouth of large rivers, right? As you can see in this figure very clearly, how the canyons inside the water are formed. So the canyons, these are also same as canyons. There is no technical difference. The only difference is that the submarine canyons are present inside the oceans. One of the most famous one is the Hudson Canyon, which is present in the coast of United States of America. The next minor relief feature in our list is guyotts. Now, these are flat-topped seamounts. We have seen seamounts, right? So after a certain period of time, when the erosion happens, the top of these seamounts, they get flattened up and something like this. So these are known as guyotts. They show evidence of gradual subsidence. They show evidence of gradual subsidence through stages to become flat-topped submerged seamounts. Apart from that, it is also estimated that more than 10,000 seamounts and guyotts exist in the Pacific Ocean only. The next in our list is atoll. Now, these are low islands which are found in the tropical oceans consisting of coral reefs surrounding a central depression. It may be a part of sea or it can also be a part of lagoon or sometimes from enclosing a body of fresh or brackish or highly saline water. Now, in this session, we'll discuss this much. I hope this session was helpful for you guys. In the next session, we'll discuss about the movement of ocean waters and the factors that affect the movement of ocean waters. Thank you. Till the next session, stay tuned to SSB Crack Exams. Jai Hind.